from the Odyssey, Chapter 9. The Warrior Ghosts. When the ghost of Odysseus' mother had gone, more spirits came forward to drink from the trench. Odysseus drew his sword and ordered them to approach, one at a time. First came the spirits of the wives and the mothers of slain Greek heroes. Then came the ghosts of the great kings and warriors themselves. Among them was the ghost of Agamemnon, high king of the Greek forces during the Trojan War. "My lord, king of us all," Odysseus cried, "you are here." As soon as he had tasted the sheep's blood, Agamemnon recognized Odysseus. He tried to lift his arms to embrace him, but there was little strength or power left in his ghostly being. Odysseus wept tears of pity. Until now he had not known that Agamemnon had died. They sat and talked with one another, the living man on one side of the trench, the ghost of the mighty king on the other. "What fate brought you here?" asked Odysseus. "Did you drown in a terrible storm at sea? Did an enemy strike you down in some great fight?" Agamemnon told Odysseus that he had been slain by his own queen. "But you will not meet the same end, Odysseus," the ghost of Agamemnon assured him. "Your wife, Penelope, is loyal to you. She is a most admirable woman. When you left her, she was little more than a girl. When you return, she and your son will be waiting to embrace you and work with you on your farm." As Odysseus and the spirit of Agamemnon sat weeping and talking, the ghosts of warriors came and sat with them, warriors who had fought valiantly in the Trojan War. Among them was the great Achilles, the bravest of all the Greeks. "Odysseus, what a daring thing you do now," said Achilles. "Why have you traveled here to be with the ghosts of the dead?" Odysseus told Achilles and the others about his journey and how he had come to meet with the ghost of Tiresias. He praised Achilles, calling him a prince among the dead. "Ah, perhaps," said Achilles, "but I would rather be a poor man's servant in the world of the living than a king of kings in the land of the dead." The ghosts of the other dead warriors each told Odysseus their sad tales, and to each ghost Odysseus gave news about the living. Then Odysseus saw Tantalus, a king whose great pride had angered the gods. Their punishment for him was eternal hunger and thirst. Tantalus was forced to stand in water up to his chin, with fruit trees drooping overhead, their branches laden with pears, apples, and figs. Whenever Tantalus lowered his head to drink the water dried up. When he reached up to clutch the fruit, the wind blew the branches into the air. Next, Odysseus saw Sisyphus, a cruel king whom the gods had condemned to forever roll a huge rock uphill. Every time Sisyphus reached the top of the hill, the rock rolled back down the slope, and Sisyphus had to start all over again. Odysseus then saw the mighty Hercules. The great warrior stared into the distance, holding his bow in one hand, his arrow on the string. For all time he would stand poised to take aim. As Odysseus looked through the mist for the spirits of more heroes, he saw that thousands of ghosts were moving slowly toward him. Their voices were soft at first, then they grew louder and louder. Spirits were crowding close around Odysseus, crying out for help. Odysseus felt a wave of panic. In terror, he turned and fled from the spirits of the dead. His men followed him back through Persephone's grove until they came to their ship. Odysseus led the way on board and ordered the Greeks to set sail at once. The men rowed swiftly across the river of Oceanus. They kept rowing until they felt a breeze and opened their sails. As dawn's rosy light glittered on the wine-dark sea, Odysseus finally caught his breath. His mind roamed over the past year, the nightmare of the cannibal giants, the long stay in Circe's palace, and his visit to the haunted realm of Hades and Persephone. Odysseus grieved for his dead mother and felt more anxious than ever to see his father before the old man also died. More than anything, he longed to be reunited with his loving wife and son before harm came to them. Odysseus' heart ached almost more than he could bear. Still, he rejoiced that he was in the world of the living, and not trapped forever in the dark land of the dead. All right, and that's the end of book 2. So next time we will read book 3, Sirens and Sea Monsters.